Well, it looks like that progressed quickly. So I had my coronary CT yesterday, which was kind of an interesting experience. Got in there, and the tech was like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "Well, I have what they think is a leak in a TVAR, so they just need it fully visualized." And he said, "That's not the kind of test this is. This is more about the heart structure." And I'm like, "Well, maybe the cardiologist wants to make sure that my heart is actually capable of handling any other surgeries at all." And so we talked about it a lot, and actually the tech was very, very good at his job. And he knew that they had not ordered what I had needed them to see. And I explained my pains to him, and I think once he actually saw what was going on, he decided to modify my order to not be a coronary, but instead a full chest CT, which I probably should have had from the beginning. But again, we were just really kind of trying to discover what the issues were. So I get the CT, and I get home, and it's probably 10 or 15 minutes after I walk in the door. Cardiologist is calling me, and he's like, "Hey, Deanna, we're on a first name basis now because we've been talking a lot." And he's like, "I feel like you're my friend." I'm like, "Well, this is actually kind of what I wanted. I wanted someone to take me seriously." But he said, "It's not what we thought. TVAR is not leaking, but it's worse." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I imagined my worst was, well, you're bleeding internally. There's nothing we can do. You're going to be dead pretty quickly." That was kind of like my worst case scenario. But what it turns out is I have a pseudoaneurysm, and it is huge. And I have been walking around in this kind of pain for 8 or 9 months because I have a pseudoaneurysm growing in me. Now, most of us in the aortic dissection train realize that the time that you worry is when it hits between 4 and 5 centimeters. Mine's at a 10. So once again, I gotta overshoot and be worse than everybody, I guess, just in terms of expectations. So I'm at the hospital. I am not happy. I do not have my medical grade air filter yet. I may be able to convince my husband. They don't like those things in here because they just don't want the personal responsibility and liability. Last time we put an air tag on it because I was just like, well, if someone walks out with my air filter, I'll track them down. But I don't have it right now, and yes, they require masks, but I've seen so many masks just pulled off when people are uncomfortable. This room is actually bigger than some of my New York City apartments. So I do have it to the side right now, but as soon as I am done, I'll be reaffixing it to my face. Again, double masked. Again, I never got it. There's a very real reason for that. So that is my news. Of course, when you're looking at my channel, it's always progressively going to get worse, I guess. I'm just kidding. But I'm here, and the surgeon knows, and no one really has an explanation yet because I haven't really been able to make any inquiries or ask anyone why it was so hard to try to get these tests done. But I will get an answer, and I will let you know later. This is one take, mostly because I don't want to stress myself out any further, and also because who is going to look good in a hospital? Nobody I've ever seen. Apparently I look horrible when I'm coming out of surgery, which you may or may not see. I'll probably have Dawn do that this time. Hopefully not as like a testament of a documentary of my wife's death, but more of something that you can be inspired by later. I hope you guys are better than me because this sucks. In so many ways, I thought I was going to have time to squeeze my dog and make some final preparations, but obviously that's not what's happening. So that's my story, and I hope you guys are great. And I'm sure you'll hear me again later because what else am I going to do in the hospital? I wanted to read books, but I couldn't find my fucking books. Anyway, thank you. Let's see you later. Bye.